Hi guys, it's Heather, the Butterfly Effect, plant-based weight loss, and today is Wednesday, and that makes it weigh-in Wednesday, and that's the day I come on here and I make a video and I hold myself accountable. I come on the internet and tell everyone how much I weigh and how close I am on my journey to take off 300 pounds. So when I first started, I was 436 pounds. And last week, when I checked in with you, I was 148 pounds. And that means that I had taken off 288 pounds altogether. So I'm getting really close to being at my first goal, my penultimate goal, which is 300 pounds off. The reason I say that it's my penultimate goal is I'm just going to continue after that to eat healthfully and to eat when I'm hungry and to stop when I'm full and continue to be active and exercise and see where my weight lands at that point. And so that is going to be my starting goal, and that is going to get me into a normal BMI for the first time in my life. I've been overweight or obese or severely obese all of my life, and so that will be a huge accomplishment that I'm doing this for my health and for my life, and so that I can have a life. And so right now I am back to work after being off for more than a month for 2 surgeries and all kinds of complications and stuff like that. And I got to go to one of my favorite places that I wanted to tell you about in case you're in Portland. It is called Garden Bar, and I love it. Um, GardenBarPDX.com is their website if you want to check them out. They have food, and I don't usually go out places because they don't serve food. What they serve is things that used to be food and then got covered in flour and salt and sugar and processed and oil, and so they used to be food and then they became something that I don't choose to eat anymore because I only eat unprocessed food, and that's the way I think about it. So I eat fruits and vegetables, all kinds, all quantities. I don't limit either one of those. I eat starches like potatoes, brown rice, quinoa, beans. Beans I consider a legume, also split peas and lentils, but they're also starch and they're also great for you. And just really small, I use like flaxseed, so I keep my added fats really low because I want to continue to take off weight. And I still have a lot of fat on my body that I'm still taking off, and so I'm not worried about deficiencies of essential fatty acids. And I also supplement essential fatty acids. I take a vegan omega-3 supplement that has both DHA and EPA, and it's the one that is recommended by Dr. Clapper, who is a doctor that specializes in plant-based medicine. And so I supplement that so I don't worry about not getting my omega-3s. I also get them from the flax seeds. So what is on my salad is, what I love is, it's a salad bar, so you can pick whatever you want, but they give you greens, and then you get to pick 6 toppings. But they have, this is kind of a small salad for me. I eat the giant salads. This is got also beans, like black beans, and edamame, which are unprocessed soybeans that are so super yummy, and it has some quinoa on it because I'm continuing to keep my protein a little higher because I'm recovering from 2 surgeries in less than a month. So it has some carrots and some beets and some cucumbers and all the things I love on there. So this is my yummy lunch. You guys have seen my breakfast salad. This is my lunch. It's often like some steamed vegetables or some more raw vegetables with some beans or some quinoa or something thrown on it. And for dinner, I'll probably have I got some purple Okinawan sweet potatoes, the real thing. I found a Korean store here in Portland called Buhan that had them. I went there for Napa cabbage and to make kimchi. I'm going to show you guys my kimchi on the weekend. It should be ready to eat by, yeah, it should be ready to eat by Saturday. Um, but I went there to make, to get Napa cabbage and some, I'm going to say it wrong. I'm just going to say Korean hot red pepper. It's, I can't say it. I'm going to say it wrong. So anyway, it's a special kind of pepper that you use when you make kimchi, and it's a red pepper powder that you mix in. And I was there, and they had Okinawan purple sweet potatoes, and I've always wanted to try them. It's what the Okinawans, who are like the longest lived people in the world, they live longer than anybody else. They eat 80% of their calories as these sweet potatoes. They eat other foods, but 80% of their actual calories comes from these delicious sweet potatoes. And I see why. They are really good. They're brown on the outside, and they don't even look like a sweet potato because I guess they're a yam. They're brown on the outside, and they look like I don't know, like a tuber, but not necessarily like a sweet potato that I'm used to. And then on the inside, they're the most beautiful color of like royal purple, and they taste like cake to me. Some people say that they taste a little bit drier than, but you know, I don't like the orange sweet potatoes, or like I've gotten to be a little bit of a snob about sweet potatoes. I generally like the white ones that are a little drier and a little fluffier. And these are like that, but purple and super, super sweet. So if you ever see them in a store, I would check out an Asian store. They also had kabocha squash for super cheap. I was very happy that I found this place. But anyway, so I'll have a purple sweet potato for dinner, and I might have some more, beans and some more like vegetables with it. I'm probably gonna have, I have a lot of zucchini and yellow squash right now from my garden and from friends' gardens, and so I'll have that sauteed up with some red bell pepper and some onions and stuff like that, and have that with my sweet potato. Um, so you can eat great, and eat an unprocessed diet and never feel deprived and take off lots of weight. So you probably want to know if I took off any weight this week. I was on a 6 week plateau because I had spent 1 month at 148 pounds, and that was the month I was recovering from surgery, so I wasn't really trying to lose weight. I was just trying to eat healthy. And then I went to I had another week, and I was 148. I went to Vegas, and I stayed 148 after Vegas, which is kind of a miracle because the food was really good in Vegas, and I know that I ate more than I needed to eat. Um, but luckily, with this kind of food, you can often, it's okay as long as you make the right choices. Sometimes you can get away with a little more volume, and I didn't gain any weight. But I was kind of stuck for 6 weeks at 148 pounds. So when I weighed in this morning, what did I weigh? 147 pounds. So yay, I broke my plateau. I took off a pound. And you guys, if you think I'm disappointed with taking off 1 pound, you're wrong. I am thrilled. I, my only criteria is that it goes down. I want to weigh less 1 week than the week before, and I account for special circumstances like water weight and things like that. And so as long as the scale's going down, I'm totally happy. I'm a happy girl. So yay, it's going in the right direction again. Okay, I want to take just a couple minutes, and I promised you some information about what I heard in Vegas. And so what I thought I would do for this video is I would just talk about a few of our speakers. I thought I could do it on, over several videos, and what stood out the most to me. So I'm going to start out with Dr. Alan Goldhamer. He's the medical director and founder of the True North Health Center in Santa Rosa, California, and I've heard his talk more than once, but you know how like sometimes you'll hear something that you didn't quite hear before, and this is what really hit me, the most significant thing, and that I really want to share with you. And that was that if you are carrying around excess weight, it is totally not your fault. You have been genetically designed to survive famine, not to survive a surplus of food, because this has never happened in history before, right? Our ancestors would have spent most of their time trying to find food, and food would often be scarce, and they would sometimes go without, also called fasting. And so our bodies are really good at adapting to those conditions. They know how to keep us alive when the food is scarce or when it comes in bursts and we get a bunch at a time and then we don't get any for a while. And so that is the biological problem that our bodies are adapted to solve, and not to be in a situation where not only is there tons of food all the time, 24/7, grocery stores food is available to you 24 hours a day now. Never has that been the case in history. Never has it been cheaper and easier to get food. And so, as far as opportunity costs, we used to have to work really hard for our food. Now it's, very cheap, not necessarily in the money, but in the opportunity costs. Okay, so we were not designed to solve this problem. And then we have the situation where everybody is doing everything they can, all of the manufacturers, all of the food producers, all of the restaurants, even your sweet grandma and the people at your potluck are all conspiring unconsciously, some of them, and consciously others, to give us food that is designed to make us fat and sick. What did he say? Fat, sick, and in pain. I can't remember, but he's got a terrific sense of humor. If you can ever hear Dr. Goldhamer, I really recommend you do, because he's a really deadpan, so you don't always realize he's telling a joke, but he's really hilarious if you pay attention. And he's a really, really a brilliant practitioner and a brilliant man. So I respect him a whole lot. And so what I got from that is it's not my fault. For years we've been told that we're fat and lazy, that we're fat slobs, that we just need to put down the fork, that we need to push away from the table, all that kind of stuff, and that it's our fault. But we have brains that are wired to respond to food that has a lot of sugar and salt and oil and flour, and that is what we're given from the moment we pop out of mom and stop nursing. That's what we're given, and so that food is designed to make you sick. I mean, the result is that food will make you sick, and that food will make you fat. And so if you are living on food that is designed to make you fat and sick, you will get fat and sick, and it is not your fault, and it does not mean that you have a character flaw and you need to go to a 12-step program. No. I do find some things that I've learned in 12-step programs really helpful, and I know they're helpful for some people, but I was surprised at how few people actually report success with 12-step programs, which is only about 5%. 5%. So they work for 5% of the people, and if you're one of them, bless you. I'm not trying to knock your program. I'm so glad it works for you. But for a lot of people, they didn't work. And what did work was taking some things that I learned in the program, like abstinence. Like, I don't do any sugar, I don't do any flour, I don't do any oil, I don't do any animal products. I'm probably leaving some stuff out, but there's other things that I don't, that I don't do, nut butters, things like that. I'll eat a small amount of, I'll eat one Brazil nut a day, but I won't eat peanut butter because I can't keep my face out of the jar. So, anyway, Abstinence really works. Eating 3 meals and no snacks, not snacking, that really works. Um, Getting support when you want to use food for something other than hunger, that really helps. That's a really good thing. Learning how to talk back to your saboteur in your mind that's telling you, it's okay. No, it's not okay. Just this once. It's never just this once. I'm going to eat all of it if I start, you know. Learning how to talk back to that liar in your brain that's telling you that it doesn't matter, that you can get right back on plan, or that you've already blown it today, so you might as well just keep doing it because it doesn't matter because you're going to get back on track tomorrow. We all know that that voice in our heads is a big fat liar, and if you keep listening to the voice in your head and letting it run the show, that is going to keep you, from getting the results that you want, and it's going to make you be eating kale in the morning and then cookies in the evening because it'll get you every time. So you have to learn how to listen for those lies and then speak back to them with authority and with conviction. And you have to make up your mind. You have to have the power of the made up mind where you're absolutely sure that what you're going to do is predetermined. That I'm absolutely going to eat this salad, and even if there's cookies in the break room or ice cream sandwiches or pizza or whatever may come, this is what I'm eating and I'm not eating that. And I've determined that now. I'm not determining it later on when that food's in front of me, or that poison is in front of me. That's not the time to make the decision. The time to make the decision is now, and to have a firm conviction, and then to just stay away from it as much as you can. you know and if you're an alcoholic, probably it's not the best job for you to be in a bar. And if you are someone who has trouble controlling their food intake, you probably don't want to work in food service. You'll be surprised at how many people do. But even if you don't work in food service, maybe, you can arrange it so that you're not the one that makes all the meals for the family. Like, that could be the case, or it could not be. Most of us have to still make food for our family, but if you're in a situation where that's optional, maybe you don't want to do that. Maybe you want to eat really simply and not make recipes, so that you're not interacting with the food, or you're not making food that's too palatable, that'll be too hard for you to say no to. So, okay, so that's some things I got from Dr. Goldhamer. And when I come back next week or later on this week, I will tell you the main thing that I got from Dr. Lyle, Dr. Doug Lyle, who's a psychologist and also works at True Health and also works with Dr. McDougall with the McDougall program. And he's just a brilliant man too. So the main thing I got from Goldhamer is, it's not your fault. It is the food. If you didn't live in this world, this dirty world, you're trying to live clean in a dirty world, and that's why you have problems. It's not a character flaw, and it can be overcome. So here I am, 289 pounds off, working up to 300 pounds off. I'm doing it. I was a horrible food addict. I was completely addicted to anything that you can be addicted to, as far as processed foods, fast foods, animal foods, dairy, cheese, sweets, all of that. I was the worst. I was the absolute worst. I would binge on them. I would think about them constantly. So if someone like me can come back from that, from 436 pounds, and be almost to goal weight, I hope that it gives you hope that you can do it too, that you just have to never give up. You have to learn some coping skills. You have to get the food right. Eat food, not processed junk, and you can do it. You absolutely can do it. If you need help, join a program like the Ultimate Weight Loss Program, Chef AJ's program, or if you just want some support but you don't want to follow that program, you could also join my Facebook group, which is the Butterfly Effect Plant-Based Weight Loss. I do a little bit of coaching. The light just went off. Hold on. All right, I'm just going to say goodbye. Have a good day.